Okay, so now let's jump in. First thing you're going to do before you make a video, prepare. So you follow this checklist on the Notion document. First off, you got your purpose and message. Once we've duplicated this Notion document, you can actually just delete this here and you can type in your own message. It'll help you keep your subconscious like in check. As you really get your creative gears going, you might, who knows where you're going to go. You want to allow yourself to really travel through the cosmos here on the wings of your creativity. So write down first and foremost what your goals are. What is the purpose of this video? What is the message? What is the call to action? Whatever you have in store, write that down and read it before you start filming. Next, script or outline. Imagine this video is a tweet. A short form tweet. You're going to want a hook. You're going to want a problem or solution, a story, depending on how you're trying to make your audience feel by the end of it. Follow the same basic guidelines of copywriting 101. Be short and sweet and ensure that all those elements are there. The basic formula I work with, and you can edit this to match what feels good for you. Hook and relate to the audience, tell a story, give the audience what they came for. So in the last section in the samples I talked about, in one of the samples, I'm out gardening and I say in the beginning,
I spend a lot of my mental space thinking about the creator hustle.
That is me relating to my audience. Creators. We all know how much of a hustle it can be. So from that point on, I have their attention. Next, I got to keep their attention. So I try to tell a story with the trees. I add in music. I make it more exciting and then give the audience what they came for. To be honest, I may have not done the greatest job on that clip because at the end of it,
take a deep breath and
what did I give them? Just some punk rock and some animated GIFs going, oh yeah, great. So once again, I'm just trying to inspire people to make videos. But if you've got something really empowering to say, lead into that and make it a really powerful ending. And I just want to take a moment to remind you here that relating to an audience with video can be done as simply as putting on a facial expression and adding some music and an AI narration.
But little did he know.
Okay, part 2, produce. This is where you're going to film it. So after you've planned it all out, you've got that in your subconscious, we're going to get started. Now, you don't need a big production budget. You don't need a fancy camera. Like I said earlier, you probably don't even need a light. Some small investments could easily 10x your video. Get a microphone, get a light. You could get both of those for less than $50 on Amazon. They won't be the best, but they'll be better than just using your phone. If you don't have $50, that's okay too. Just use your phone. Use your webcam on your laptop. Before you know what you're creating, before you know what your creative workflow is that really gets your audience going, why would you invest in anything? You want to figure out what people like. So once you have an idea of what people like, then it makes more sense to turn this into an investment. But first and foremost, that's why this guide is free. Do all this first so you have an idea of this challenge and what it means to you and how you want to use it in your brand and business. And then decide if you want to take my video accelerator training course, which is on jordanrubes.com. It's 30 days. It's hardcore work with me. There's a video editing course. You get 8 one-on-one calls with me, plenty more bonuses. It's a steal, to be honest. It's a steal. But don't do it if you're not ready. Do all this first. Get started on your own. My goal is to help you become a sovereign creator here, okay? That's my main goal. So let's do the best with what we've got. Optimize your shooting environment with lighting, with audio, with the background. Clean up your background or blur it. I'm in a co-working space right now. I thought this was kind of cool. My wife would probably disagree with me, but I'm like, I'm going to use it. Cool. Whatever. Okay, next you want to optimize your equipment. Already mentioned it a little bit. Microphone, even a little tripod or one of those gimbals like DJI makes. They go a long way, especially depending on the kind of shots you're trying to get. A gimbal would really help with movement shots. It'll keep things steady. And if you're doing in ultra slow motion, for example, it'll really come out neat. So tripod or gimbal will work hand in hand with the quality you shoot in. I always recommend trying to go to 4K 60p. If your device can handle it, it is a lot. But when you have 4K, you can crop all the way in to 1080 and you won't lose quality. Pixel quality, or you can even zoom in even more if you go to 720p. So that's why I like using 4K because you can crop. 60p will allow you to do 50% slow motion without losing any frames in the playback, which means it won't be choppy. That's pretty cool. If you shoot in 120 frames per second or 240, if you have like a GoPro, that will be awesome. And you can go really, really, really slow motion, very smooth. However, you won't be capturing audio. With 60p, you can get audio and the frame rate. So it gives you more flexibility in the editing room. Now that you've got those considerations out of the way, next it's time to film. I recommend capturing just the fundamentals. Have fun, do everything we talked about already, get into your space, let your creativity fly, but make sure by the end of it, you've captured the hook, the problem, the solution. And if there needs to be a clear message, CTA at the end, do that. Just film the very basics. If you do have a story and you want to tell a story, you have an outline, then make sure you capture the fundamentals of that story. Action shots, B-roll, and I like to just say fun. You'll be surprised how often 10 minutes can turn into 30 seconds and you're still missing a shot. Happens to me all the time. So capture everything you can, make sure it feels good, and then you might not use it all. That's okay. But we're going to be chopping so much to make this engaging for our audiences. You want to get as many shots as you can. By the way, pro tip, no one needs to hear your name or say hello. They know what they're watching. Unless you're doing a very explicit introduction video, cut the hi, my name is. And that leads us to pro tip number 2. We don't need to hear you say what you're talking about. Your caption, or the title of your video, the description, your tweet already tells us what we're about to watch, or at least it offers some kind of context. And if it doesn't, you're not doing it right. Dive right into your content. Jump right into what you want to tell us. Don't waste our time. If I'm your audience, I want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to hear your name, and I don't want to hear you tell me what you're about to talk about. Okay? It's all there. Dive right into the content. This will make your video more engaging and help the algorithms put your video above other people's videos because you're respecting the audience's time. And that's pretty much it for producing the video. Without going too deep. That's all you need to really do to produce an authentic video. Make a nice space, feel safe, have an outline, get funky, let your creativity soar. And next, we're going to tie it all together in the editing room. If you like this guide so far, a tweet would be really amazing. Tag me, say, hey, this is really awesome, or send it to a friend, whatever it might be. I offer this guide for free so more creators like yourself can get a grip on what it means to create good video content. To create good video content, you need to be authentic, you need to be real, and you need to be creative. And my goal here is to inspire you to be creative. The sky is the limit. Make some good content. If you're feeling inspired, you're going to start. I really appreciate you just sharing this guide with others.